This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's talk about some news and notes as we head into this show. Meltzer would write, Undertaker underwent surgery this past weekend on his damaged orbital bone. Before the surgery, we had heard that he would be able to return in 8 to 12 weeks, but we haven't heard anything since. It would still make sense to keep him out of action until SummerSlam. At this point, the plan is still Swagger versus Undertaker for the SmackDown title, but you can't expect those kinds of plans not to change 10 times before then. Let's talk about the Undertaker here for a minute. You know, Meltzer wrote, I don't know, a few years ago that he remembers having dinner with a prominent WWE superstar in 97. And most people assume he's talking about Bret Hart. And the person told him that he didn't think Taker would be in the business much longer because he had such pain, you know, with his knees and hips and things like that. He was just beat up, and he's a large dude. So you got to figure he's racking up the miles faster than some others. And that was 1997. You fast forward, he's still here in 2010. In 2010, did you think that maybe the Undertaker was winding it down? I mean, would you have ever guessed he'd still be here 10 years later?
The one thing I've learned is do not try to outthink a talent on when he decides it's his turn to return to the business,
right,
or leave the business, because that all lies in him. And, you know, you cannot underestimate a guy's ability to want to leave this business under his own terms and get himself well. We're the greatest rehab patients on the earth. When we get damaged and injured and we go to a doctor, if he puts a 6-month window or a 9-month window on a recovery, if it's 9 months, you can bet the guy's going to be ready 6 months. If it's 6 months, you can look at it being about 4 months. We are always ahead of schedule because you have to be. We're the product. Our body is the product that we're promoting and we're selling to the guy that signs our check. And we have no choice but to get well. It's not about milking and getting a paycheck and taking as long off as possible. If you're truly a top guy and you're truly a player, or even if you're a middle guy and you just take pride in your work and you want to get back as soon as possible, you will get yourself well. So I've never taken one of those comments that, hey, I think Taker's done, or, you know, any of that stuff to heart. He'll decide when he's done, and that's his option and his option only in my mind.
Hard to argue it. And I mean, we see he's still doing his thing, and he's shown us he's still very capable of doing that. I think everybody's enjoying seeing his story on the WWE Network, and I'm sure we'll talk about that sometime soon. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money, it's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.